شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Qala rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma zidna ilma. An Jabir ibn Abdullah qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam inna min ahsanin nas sawtan fil Qur'an الذي إذا سمعتموه يقرأ حسبتموه يخشى الله. Jabir ibn Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that surely and indeed amongst the people who recite the Quran with the best voice are those who, when you hear them, you consider them in awe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This hadith is found in the Sunan of Ibn Majah and it is authenticated by Shaykh Albani. May Allah be pleased with both of them. So benefits from this hadith. Having a pleasant voice or melodious tone in reciting the book of Allah is not the primary objective. As we mentioned previously, that you'd find certain people, the objective of reciting the book of Allah is to see how they can change their tune or to see how they change their melody, what melody can go here, what melody goes there. And in doing that, it deceives the objective of the Quran. The objective of the Quran is to practice and to understand the book of Allah. This is the primary objective of the Quran. Having a good voice or a melodious voice, that is something else. And the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to recite the Quran in a beautiful voice. But the purpose and ultimate goal of when you improve your voice is to achieve a state of humility and awe towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That I'm not improving my voice so that people can say, oh mashallah, what a beautiful voice. No. My voice, when reciting the book of Allah, it should bring forth a state of humility. And it should put me in a state of awe towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The best voices with regards to reciting the book of Allah are those that are filled with the khashya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That when you recite the book of Allah, you need to understand what you are reading. You need to know what you are reading. Example, someone, he doesn't understand what he's reading. He reads ayat of Jahannam, but he reads in a happy melody. He reads in a happy voice. You are reading about Jahannam. You're not reading about Jahannam. And as we mentioned previously, the aim is not to go out and go study these music, maqamat tunes. The aim is not to see how long my breath is. The aim is not to see how do I change my tunes, how do I change my melodies, but rather the aim and the objective of the book of Allah is to understand and to implement, as we mentioned earlier. And thereafter, yes, to beautify your voice, to have a pleasant voice, but to not go into takalluf, to not go into exaggeration. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of the family of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For indeed the family of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ahlul Quran. Make us of those, Ya Allah, O Allah, that can practice, that can implement what we recite and what we learn from your book. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر